Our first guest is the star of the very popular television program Spin City. Please welcome the lovely, the likable Michael J. Fox. Michael. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
You know,
I always think they like to hear Foxy Lady and plays it.
You know, this is the first time that I've had a chance to talk with you, the first time you've been on the show, since you had your press conference and announced that you have Parkinson's disease. And
yeah.
I think folks, well, you know, how's it been going since? What was the reaction?
Pretty well, pretty much the same. It didn't change. I still have it.
Yeah.
So.
You thought maybe by making the announcement?
I thought, maybe it was last chance. Last chance. I'm on my way to Barbara Walters now. But no, it was good. It was something that I've had for a long time, like 7 or 8 years, and I hadn't really told many people about it. And people were saying to me, how could you keep that a secret? And I thought I didn't really think of it as a secret. It's like, who among us goes, hi, I'm Bob, I have gout.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of
guys in the band.
Guys in the band.
Yeah.
So I'd mentioned the show when I talked about it. I did 2 things. I did a People magazine interview and talked to Barbara Walters because I figured that pretty much covers it.
You're set right there.
Everybody like people in Zimbabwe are aware of my health. So that was good, and it was good letting people know, people that I work with and stuff like that, so they feel comfortable.
Now, I'm guessing that there are probably 2 areas of reaction to people who you don't know who are your fans, and people that you work with who didn't know, who probably were stunned and immediately sympathetic, maybe too sympathetic, if in fact that can be applied in this case.
Right.
And then there were the people who also share the disorder with you.
Well, it's interesting because there's a whole community that I hadn't been a part of, other than obviously having a similar situational life experience, but hadn't really been in touch with them. And so this has been a nice process for me, kind of getting to know different groups and what they do and how I can help. It's also touchy too because of what I do and because of the things that I have in my life and the things that are available to me. It may look a little easier than it is for other folks that are in the same situation that I'm in. So
that's right, because we see you on television shows and you look great, you're funny, everything's fine.
So when I say everything's cool with me, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone that and may be in the same situation that they're being a jerk if they say they're having a hard time, because
right.
it's not necessarily a picnic. But for me, it's I'm able to do what I do. It's about I was going to say it's about timing drugs, which again would refer to the band. It's all about timing those drugs.
Were there moments immediately after you had the announcement when you just thought to yourself, oh, geez, I wish I just kept this to myself?
Well, there was that whole about a 48-hour period where there was nothing but my obituary on television, which was a little weird,
I would think so.
Because I didn't kind of know that. In all humility, I didn't think it would be that big a deal,
right.
But it was, people were calling me and saying it's on the cover of this, and then I would get, when you get phone messages from Dan Rather, something's going on.
You get a phone message from Dan Rather?
Dan Rather called in. Oh my gosh! Did
you call him back?
I didn't. But the second wave of it was really cool when they kind of got off me a little bit, and it wasn't, and I didn't have to watch old clips from the first year of Family Ties and stuff on TV. And it got into just people talking about Parkinson's, and especially because I think it's like 1 in 10 or something under 40, because people think of it as something that affects older people. So the fact that the disease, and then also the fact that younger people are affected by it, got so much attention in the press was an immediate thing that made me feel great. I felt like, well, if anything good could come of this, it just did, and hopefully more will.
Can you give me a simple, easy-to-understand definition of what the disorder is? It's a failure of the body, the system, to do what?
Part of your brain manufactures something called dopamine, which is like, the way I describe it to my kid, it's like motor oil. So it kind of makes everything work. It makes everything run fluidly. And so when it stops manufacturing that, or at least processing it or delivering it, or it's not being received in the right way, then things start to break down. You get a little rigid. You get tremor. It can affect your speech. It can affect all kinds of things, and it gradually gets worse. And it's progressive, and it's you usually see with older people, so that it's a short kind of span. There's not a lot of hope that things will get better. Sometimes with folks in their 70s or 80s, but for younger people, I really think that I may not be one of the first people to get this, but I'll be one of the last people to have it.
You think so? Well, good.
Definitely.
They're making that much progress with the research?
That's right.
And is it? I mean, when you say the body is not producing or delivering or receiving the dopamine, is it just as simple as introducing synthesized dopamine into the system?
Well, that's the short-term solution. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. Hopefully, at some point, there's all kinds of talk. I mean, one of the things that they're talking about doing is finding a way to put into the brain new cells that will produce, that learn how to do that. And all kinds of other stuff they're doing. I mean, it goes on and on and on. There's all kinds of research going on.
And you went through an actual surgical procedure.
Yeah, that was to go. They kind of fixed a part of my brain that was firing a lot. It was causing a lot of tremor in my left side, and it was kind of cool. I mean,
cool to have your brain fixed.
Well, because I was awake, So they go and the only unpleasant thing is they strap this cage on your head and they bolt it in so your head doesn't move around.
You're actually conscious for this.
Yeah, well, you're a little loopy.
God, I would hope so.
They give you a little Valium or something, or a cocktail. I don't know what it was. But and
how long does this last?
This procedure?
Yeah.
When they're actually, you go in to get this thing put on, you sit in a lazy boy kind of thing, and they drill the top of your head.
Now, Michael, they don't drill in the...
Well, I
like
think
Bob
they use an electric one, but I
with
think
a nail gun.
I think they do some finesse work with one of these. And then they get this probe thing and they put it in your brain, and it goes right in the middle of your brain, and then they
right into the middle of your brain.
Yeah, and then they have these machines that tell you if they're close, because they're sending out sound waves and things like that.
They can pinpoint the area that is
cells. They find cells, and then they're talking to you, and when the machines aren't doing what they're doing, they're saying, like, what do you feel? Like, how do you feel? And weird stuff, because you'd be sitting there and all of a sudden you go, oh man, that's not fair, man.
They're doing it too?
Oh, they're doing stuff to your brain. They could, it's like all of a sudden you're sitting there and you go, oh, okay. That's funny. That's funny.
The wacky neurosurgeon.
Okay. One of these days, the brain will be on the other foot, buddy.
And it was successful.
Yeah, it helped me with that particular thing, which was a big tremor I had on the left side.
Wow, it's all amazing.
It's pretty cool stuff.
And obviously, you would have chosen not to have to go through this experience, but you have. And again, this is probably what you were talking about earlier, the wrong kind of message. You seem great to me.
Well, I feel pretty good, and the thing for me is, again, that my life has been so amazing, and so many great things have happened to me. I got a great family. I've got a job that I love, and things are good, and I have a positive outlook. So I don't look for a lighter load. I just look for broader shoulders, and we'll see what happens.
Nice going. Good for you. Now you've worked at. You've worked at ABC for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Place is run by monkeys, right?
They all are, Dave.
Yeah, they all are, exactly.
They all are.
Sure. Who would know better than this guy? You worked at NBC, too. Monkeys.
Monkeys.
Boy, congratulations on your Golden Globe Award.
You.
That was a very nice thing.
It was a good night. Yeah, it was a good party.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
And I don't know what to say to you, because I only see the tip of this iceberg, but you're a very impressive man.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Nice to have you here. Michael J. Fox, ladies and gentlemen.